welcome to the newest episode of the Debate Mates. I'm Matthew Swanberg, and as always, I'm joined by Coach Stretch. We got a little pep in his step today.
Oh yeah!
Probably happy about some news from a couple of days ago.
Debate Mates.
So, there's a lot of big news from the NBA, or from the whole world really, going around. One of the biggest piece of news, though, easily taking over all of the media outlets, world-altering change, really, is the Debate Mates got shirts.
What? Yeah, the Debate Mates did get shirts.
Debate Mates got shirts. Obviously, since we only have 50 subscribers, we're not going to make them in bulk.
Right.
Have enough for just the members. So,
$25.95 if you want a shirt.
If you do like them, then don't tell us in the comments. Tell your friends. Tell us in the likes and in the views. Tell everyone if you really want a shirt like this. If you really want to be this cool, then you gotta like, you gotta subscribe, tell all your friends so we can get those views up to a point where we feel comfortable that we can make a profit off of these. So
Tell them the real news.
The other biggest piece of news in the NBA.
The real news.
Is Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, and the number 4 pick as well as 3 other picks got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Did you start that with
for Anthony Davis? For Anthony Davis, yeah, that's right. So most people would argue that the Pelicans are the winners of this trade.
Wrong.
You're the resident Lakers fan, as I like to say.
Oh yeah.
That's the next shirt. So let's see what you got, Stretch. What are your opinions on the trade? The Lakers side first.
Huge win. You have LeBron James, arguably top player in the world still, and he is in win now mode and coming up on year 17. So you gotta have somebody on your roster that can complement LeBron so that you can win now, and that is the entire focus of the Lakers. These young guys, no disrespect to them, they were good pieces, they were good players, but
not for a team with LeBron.
Not for a team with LeBron, who's trying to win right now.
This trade for me is incomplete on the Lakers side because
you
can, as the Warriors have shown in other teams, you can win with 2 All-Stars or 2 superstars of AD and LeBron's caliber. But it's the role players around them that really will win them a championship.
Are you serious right now?
I am being serious because
you cannot be serious right now.
The starting 5, if the Lakers don't do anything else in free agency, is
LeBron,
Kuzma, AD, Mo Wagner, and Isaac Bonga. Obviously, they're probably going to make a lot more moves in free agency. But unless they never want to have another draft ever, they can't make a lot of big trades unless they're willing to move a lot of sign and trades with free agents.
Which is fine. It's clearly fine.
So, here's the thing. I don't think the Lakers should go after another star free agent. I don't think Kemba is the right fit.
we should be on that mid-level guys.
Here's my biggest pieces for them if I were the Lakers GM.
Okay.
I'm trying as hard as I can to get Danny Green out of Toronto.
Okay.
The Lakers.
I was getting ready to say Danny
JJ Redick. He's not a defensive player, but he's a great shooter.
No.
Terrence Ross. He can score in bunches.
Did you say Terrence Ross can score in bunches?
He can score in bunches.
What NBA games you be watching when Terrence Ross scores in bunches?
Terrence Ross, he's a volume scorer.
He's a volume shooter.
But he's also a volume shooter.
Yeah.
And then Al Horford seems to be locked to the Celtics right now. He would also be a good fit, obviously, but he's one of the least realistic ones out of the ones I named. And then, as far as re-signing targets, JaVale McGee and Rondo would be the top of my list, and then maybe Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock? God! What are you trying to do to us, man? What are you trying? Okay, number one priority right now. I want Patrick Beverly.
All right, he's. I forgot the name.
I want Pat Bev. Okay, doesn't need the ball in his hands. Just wants to play defense. Moves without the basketball. Increases 3-point field goal percentage. Through the roof over the past 2 years. He is really who we need to spearhead that Laker defense. Okay. Then we go after JaVale McGee. He's pretty much what we need to be up-tempo, fast, athletic. He had a career year with the Lakers this year. Being honest, he had a career year, average double figures, almost double-figure rebounds, and he was leading the league in blocks for a long stretch of time until he got hurt. And that was a big thing. Everybody on the Lakers got hurt last year. But I really want Pat Bev. If we go after a free agent, we gotta go after guys like Chris Middleton.
Right.
A shooter, he can create his own shot. Create his own shot, but he's not a max guy. And you can give him $15 million a year.
The one thing that worries me about the Lakers is LeBron James, maybe not in the past, but as of last year, seemed very injury prone. And AD is not a lock to play.
He had one injury.
The groin injury, but is that a sign of decline as a 34-year-old?
I honestly think that it is. I honestly think that's a sign of decline.
Can you sign him for 70 or less games?
I don't want him to play more than 70 games.
Right.
This load management is real, for the superstar athletes in the NBA.
But can you expect him to be healthy for 70 plus games?
Yeah, give him some days off, man.
But then Anthony Davis, can we lock him to play?
Give him some days off.
Okay, but I'm talking injuries. Anthony Davis is one of the most injury-prone players in basketball.
He had a sprained thumb a couple years ago. Took him out for 2 months, man.
So can you expect Anthony Davis to play more than 66 games? Not with load management involved.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
But the other players are...
What about him?
Okay, so Kyle Kuzma is not yet a proven star.
Okay.
He has the potential to be an all-star, possibly next year. But if you have LeBron and AD out for the bulk of the season, or at least 1 quarter of the season, then how many wins is that team really going to get you?
Look, if by chance they both were out at the same time for some reason,
you just have to factor it in when there are two players that
we just want to be 500.
But will that get you into the playoffs?
Sure.
But the Lakers next year, could you imagine how much...
First of all, we're not just trying to get to the playoffs. Okay, the Lakers' goal is not just to go to the playoffs.
It's to win the championship.
It's to win the championship. And we're trying to win one right now.
But in order to do that, I understand what you're saying, that they have a lot of players that they need to sign.
Right.
And this is one player I think that they should go after. Like, if they're stubborn and don't want to go after some of the role player type guys, one player that I think would be a good fit for them is Kemba Walker. He's a match-worthy player, some would argue. But I think if you can get him on a budget, and I'm not saying like completely underpay him, but if you can get him on somewhat of a budget where you can still afford to sign him and run him as a 2 with LeBron at the 1, that would work very well, I think.
I don't want him. He's too small. He's too small.
Well,
to compete in the NBA, you need size. You need to be able to switch.
Let's go over the other free agents that could possibly be in their bargain.
Okay.
Tobias Harris doesn't fit well with the team. Power forward.
Nope.
Chris Middleton.
Yes.
Plays small forward like a lot of the other guys.
No. Not like the other guys, because he created his own shot.
They really, unless you consider...
And he's more of a 2.
Okay, well, he's more of a 2 then. And that Kemba Walker could also play as a 2.
No, Kemba Walker can't play anything but offensive as a point guard.
Okay, so Jimmy Butler's going to ask for a max, most likely.
Bye.
Kyrie's going to ask for a max.
Bye.
D'Angelo Russell.
He could actually fit.
Right.
Bring D'Lo back to LA.
You like it?
Bring D'Lo back to LA, baby.
Especially if Kyrie goes, then he's probably out. But is D'Angelo Russell... I don't think he warrants a max yet, but but I could see teams willing to offer him.
Yeah, somebody will overpay.
Right.
Someone like Minnesota. Somebody insane. Cleveland.
Yeah, and Kawhi's not going to the Lakers. If he's going to LA, he's going to the Clippers. I personally think he's staying, but you think he's going to the Clippers. So, other than that, you've really crossed out every free agent other than Chris Middleton and D'Angelo Russell. They're the only 2 that fit your standards.
Yep.
So, if you cannot sign either of them, then you have to just go for all of the role players. I think that's the safer bet.
Yeah, I like the role players. I want to go after all the role players.
But the problem is, they need a lot of role players. They don't have a very big roster right now.
That's fine. See, have some faith, young Padawan.
Okay, but this is one of my last arguments. So, the Raptors won the championship, obviously.
Okay.
They had a great starting 5.
Okay.
But what really won them a lot of games, especially going into the postseason, was their outstanding bench. It didn't play as well in the postseason when you lower your minutes on the bench, getting down like 8-player rotations.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the regular season and throughout the playoffs, guys like Norman Powell had huge series against Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Fred VanVleet was amazing. You need those type of players, and the Raptors and the Lakers need to copy that.
I agree for most of that. You got to have some guys that can give you some firepower, some punch off.
And
the
really,
bench.
other than if they don't sign a star, they have 60% of a good starting 5.
Yeah. Okay. What's wrong with that?
wouldn't you rather have okay? So who else do you think they insert into their starting five, assuming they're able to sign those players?
Like I said, Pat Bev.
What are the realistic chances that they get Patrick Beverly, who seems to hate the Lakers being a Clippers guy?
He hated Lonzo.
Okay,
really LeVar.
So right now he's a Clippers guy. He's a lot of strong implications that he's going to Chicago, as that's where he's from.
Right.
So, but what are the chances you get him?
I mean, it's a conversation I think that we can have with LeBron. You know, LeBron showed to you listen.
Right.
You had that conversation. Danny Green, I think, will be a huge fit.
But why would he want to leave Toronto?
Because he loves LeBron. Do we need to go back? You remember when Miami beat San Antonio and Danny Green was in the party with them in Vegas?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? No. This is real. That's documented.
Really?
Yes.
I never saw that.
Yes. He was in Vegas with Miami.
Like immediately after they won?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because he loves LeBron.
Wow. But I don't know. Well, he's got a lot of championships already. Does he have 2 or 3? I don't remember.
He has 3 now.
3. So, I mean, he could be willing to...
Same with Kawhi. He has 3.
Kawhi has 2.
He has 2?
Yeah, so sure? Danny Green has 2 then, too. Because Kawhi Leonard has won both of his final MVPs, I believe.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought he had 3.
Okay, well, either way.
I think Danny Green has 2 or 3.
With their championships, right. And then maybe be willing to take a pay cut to join LA, where they could potentially get another championship.
Right.
But the chances of being Patrick Beverly, I think, are slim. Same with Danny Green.
I don't think so. I think it's greatly with Danny Green.
I think they could maybe get JJ Redick. I know you're not too high on that bandwagon, but I think he's kind of reasonable for them. All right, this is one I'm just going to throw out at you. I know you like to get a little testy when I mention kind of stupid things, but this is not me saying I think they should. This is
definitely saying that they think should.
Would you be upset if LA pursued DeMarcus Cousins for a minimum-ish deal?
I wouldn't be upset with that. However, I just don't. I love the dynamic of Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins when they were in New Orleans together. I actually was a big fan of that.
Right.
However, it limits everything that they have when you have a player like LeBron with them.
Because you can't have a whole lot of shooting.
Right.
Right. And then Kuzma's not a fantastic shooter.
Right.
They need shooting right now as their main 3 and D players is what they need to fill their.
As I said, Chris Middleton, Danny Green, Pat Bev. He's more D than 3, but
yeah. All right, so the Lakers might have won the trade, but now let's get to the Pelicans side. So
they'll be good in 4 years.
They got a pretty good thing back too. They got Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, the number 4 overall pick, and 3 other picks first round. So. You first. What do you think of the Pelicans?
They'll be good in 4 years. I mean, like I said, I believe I said this a few episodes back that we've already seen this show.
Right.
This was the LA Lakers roster from 3 years ago.
Right.
So we've seen this show. We've seen Lonzo, Ingram, Julius Randle.
But he's a free agent, and he opted out.
Yeah, whatever. That's probably a
Zion Williamson 2.0 right there.
Exactly. That's Z.
So this is. I think New Orleans, like I understand, you think will be good in 4 years. They could be one of those surprise teams that maybe doesn't make it to the playoffs, but one of those teams that at the end of the season, when you're fighting for like 4th or 5th place, is one of those teams that beats you. And
spoil some things.
Yeah, I could see them being. I don't know if they'll be like a great team. They're definitely not hovering like above 45 wins or ish, but I could see them going around 500.
Yeah, I can see that. They could in there fighting around for it.
Right. So, and they're gonna have a phenomenal defensive backcourt. Unfortunately, not much shooting around there.
Right. I mean,
Drew Holiday and Lonzo Ball are great defenders.
Yeah, Drew can score though.
If Zion Williamson is everything people believe he's gonna be, then they're already gonna get 82 wins because Zion Williamson's supposedly LeBron James on steroids. Here's one argument I have to when people say that the Pelicans will be great because they have Zion Williamson. Realistically, will Zion Williamson be any better than Luka Doncic was in his rookie year? Because Luka was insane, and the Mavericks were not that great of a team. So, realistically speaking, if he's probably not going to be better than Luka, so he's...
Well, they're 2 different players. When you compare people, you got to look at their game style. Zion is going to be a slasher, a rebounder, a finisher around the rim. That's going to be his game. He's not going to be the guy that's going to razzle dazzle you with ball handling, skills, and he's not gonna make pocket passes out of pick and roll. Like, that's not what he's gonna do. He's 6'6", 285 pounds. He's an undersized small forward, aka Julius Randle, who has more upside than Julius Randle.
The Pelicans, they're going to be very long on the backcourt, but as you get lower and lower from into the front court, they're all of a sudden a small team.
But you have Brandon Ingram, who's 6'10", 6'11", somewhere.
But then
around
that
there.
means you have to move Zion over to power forward.
I would actually flip him, like play more small ball-ish.
It depends really on what type of player Zion Williamson is able to guard.
Right.
With his,
he would have to guard more fours,
right.
like Draymond. Like Draymond kind of guards more of the fours. Yeah, and that's the load that he's going to have to carry, you know what I'm saying, for his size. He's going to have to carry that load. He's going to have to be more of a Draymond Green
the
type of
Pelicans,
player.
they have a lot of draft picks. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm them, I'm willing to give up at least 2 of those in order to upgrade a player.
To get a stud, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and give him a player and some picks for a stud.
Right, but I don't know if they'd be willing to give up the 4 pick. They're apparently shopping Darius Garland, or that might be the Knicks, so I might be getting those two confused. But either way.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to, they would love to get Zion's teammate.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to go to New York.
Wow, you don't even have enough respect for him to say this. I know you think he's going to be Shabazz Napier. But
Absolutely. And Shabazz Muhammad, by the way.
My bad.
And he also cost us the game.
The game.
Yeah.
Are you a Duke fan?
Yes, I am, sir.
Oh, all right.
He also cost us games.
All right, but back to the Pelicans side of things.
Okay.
I don't think the Lakers kind of got swindled, to be honest.
I mean, I'm not going to say they gave up too much, but I mean, they gave up a lot of assets that I personally, that to me, 1 pick too many.
Right.
But other than that, I don't have no issue
Jones
with it.
on ESPN said it was kind of like an amateur and Rob Pelinka dealing with a professional,
Right.
David Griffin.
Right.
That's kind of what it was. I mean, the Lakers got one thing back.
That's it.
The Pelicans are stacked for
That's
3
why
to 4 more
I
years.
was
If Anthony
hoping-
Davis leaves,
I was hoping for a 3-team scenario.
Right.
So that we didn't have to give up all of those assets to one team. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine if Anthony Davis isn't happy with Los Angeles and he leaves? They're going to stink unless they sign some huge free agents.
Well,
Because he's made it hard for them to sign a superstar this summer with his ex.
he has a trade kicker.
Right.
Pelinka, man. He strikes again. So, whatever. We just got to play the games
So,
now.
from the Lakers side, I'm going to think of a grade. You think I'm a grade for their bargain. On the count of 3, we'll both say the grade.
Okay.
All right. So, the Lakers side, what they got?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
B
A.
plus.
All right, so we're about even.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I'll do the Pelicans, and we can argue it a little bit
Okay.
more. Pelicans, 3, 2, 1, A plus. Oh, hey, you cheated. You're piggybacking off my answer.
plus.
Oh, what a cheater.
Well, I was going to say a C. I was going to say
You're
a C.
piggybacking off my answer.
But you said an A plus.
You were going to say A plus. I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah, right.
All right, and
A
I
plus.
Okay, so here's why.
I was going to say a C plus. But A plus?
A plus.
Jesus.
Here's-
I mean, I can understand the future implications. But we're in a win-now league.
Well, the Pelicans aren't.
Well, that's tough. So what? We're trying to win. Okay, so let's say this.
The Lakers are trying to win now.
So let's say this. The trades happen. Okay.
It did happen, yeah.
The Lakers add pieces like they're supposed to. Say they add, a ton of role players, and they go out and win a championship. Not this year, but the following year.
Mhm.
Who wins the trade? Who has won the trade?
Well, you never told me what the Pelicans did next year.
Where do you think they're gonna be at?
Uh-huh.
They'll be good in 4 years. They're not gonna be good right now. They'll be good in 4
All
years.
right, well, if we're going to be hypothetical, let's say Zion Williamson comes out, averages 50 points per game,
Oh, my- you know
25
what?
rebounds,
Man,
25 assists, then he'll
you know
win the
what?
trade.
The
Okay,
Lakers.
we could do hypothetical questions all day long, but this is the matter of the fact. The Pelicans got more players back, and they got more picks back. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a pretty good trade. But one thing that I might be getting caught up in is Zion Williamson is not part of the trade. And I think it's funny how it's not even Pelicans projected lineup is Pelicans confirmed starting lineup on every channel. And it's like Zion Williamson pops in there. How do you know they're not going to drop John Moran? They won't, but
No, they're not gonna drop.
But
Zion, look, I don't think Zion's gonna be that great his first year. His first 2 years, as a matter of fact. I don't think, because he has no mid-range jump shot. And we don't have a mid-range jump shot for the player that he is when he likes to get to the hole. He reminds me of Blake Griffin. Remember Blake Griffin his first couple years?
He was injured. First
A
year.
lot.
Still is. But I think the Pelicans did get a very good bargain from this.
No,
Even
I
if
agree.
you don't think the players that
No,
they
I
got
agree.
a great
They got a
draft
lot of
picks
assets.
are
They got a lot of
huge.
assets. They got a lot of assets.
And then I don't know if you're considering it kind of like the same trade, but if they flip a couple of those picks for another good player like a center, a starting caliber center, then they easily win this trade.
That's not the same trade.
Okay. Well, it would kind of be, because they're the assets from the trade.
Okay.
All right, so on to a new topic, which
All
also
right.
involves a trade,
All right.
is the Houston Rockets. I'm trying to think of a pun about Rockets and blowing up. They're fire. They're fire.
They're detonating.
They're detonating. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Huh?
So the Rockets are detonating, as Stretch said.
Yeah.
So eloquently put it. Chris Paul and James Harden hate each other apparently.
Right.
They
like,
want to trade. Chris Paul wants to get traded. So first, I'm gonna let you talk about this. So Chris Paul is the one that requested the trade apparently.
Right.
Harden's gonna get more in return. Are you set on trading? If you're gonna have to trade one of them, are you set on trading Chris Paul?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Absolutely. First of all, I was against them re-signing him for that huge extension. What is it, $40 million a year crap that they gave? They just basically gave Chris Paul $40 million. That is horrible. They ain't drugged their feet on signing Capella. Like, you could have just, you signed Capella to whatever he's going to be, but you saved that $40 million, man.
Right. The thing that's interesting to me is how accurate are the reports.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Is this definitely salvageable? Yes. I've been saying since the trade deadline or since All-Star break, I think they should have gotten rid of Paul earlier this year.
No one wants Chris Paul.
Exactly, but they would have wanted him more earlier in the year.
Yeah, no one wants Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a 34?
He didn't prove anything in the playoffs.
Yeah, he looked bad. He looked bad, and we already know he has 1.5 hamstrings.
Right.
No one wants that. You see, Tony Parker just retired because he had 1.5 quads.
So what do you think is a realistic package to return?
There will be no package for Chris Paul. There will be no package.
So then, if you're
unless this is the only way I see what can happen.
Package Capella.
Right. I was getting ready to say that. But Kemba Walker leaves Charlotte. You know, Chris Paul's from the Carolina area.
Right.
Send him and Capella to Charlotte for whatever's left over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some picks.
Right.
That's it.
Well, but is Capella too much to give up, though?
He is too much to give up now.
But they kind of dug themselves into a hole here.
Yes.
With this whole situation.
But no one's going to take Chris Paul by himself.
Right. I think there's definitely a couple teams out there that would still take him.
Go ahead, name one.
Like, name one? Cavaliers? I don't know.
No.
I think there's definitely still some teams that would be willing to take him on just because of legacy.
Name one.
All right, here. I'm not gonna name one, but this is what I want to say.
Go ahead.
Remember when the Cavs traded for Dwayne Wade?
Sure.
Well, he was Dwayne Wade, but he got traded because of his legacy.
And you know what happened to Dwayne Wade?
Yeah.
He was retraded.
Well, but that doesn't matter.
I want to say he was released. Was he released?
Yeah, he was released. But that's not the point. Is they got something back. And that was Dwayne Wade, and he's worse than Chris Paul is now. So I'm saying there's always a suitor out there.
You can't name one team that will take Chris Paul right now.
Can you?
I already said no. There is no team.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna take your shirt back.
You can't name a team.
Alright, whatever.
The only way I can see it working a little bit is if, let's say, Utah doesn't re-sign Rubio and they need
Alright, getting back to the Lakers thing, do you think Rubio would be a good fit for the Lakers? Just
No.
off the top. Alright.
No.
And then
Can't shoot at all.
here's another question for you, switching topics to the New York Knicks. They wanted KD, he's out. They wanted Zion, they're not going to get him.
Nope.
They wanted AD, they're not going to get him.
Nope.
Is this summer already a failure for the Knicks?
Yep.
Absolutely.
As is everything else that they do. Knicks suck. Oh boy. Whew.
But they're going to get your favorite player, RJ Barrett.
Shabazz Muhammad. Good luck, New York.
Jamal Murray said he thinks that RJ Barrett is better than
Jamal Murray is smoking weed right now in Denver. Oh, yeah, that's a koala.
Boardman gets paid. That's all I can say.
Oh, man. He's horrible.
Who, Kawhi? Or
RJ Barrett.
Right.
RJ Barrett. Oh, man. Kawhi's tough. Kawhi's better than KD.
That's a discussion for another day.
Today, Kawhi's better than KD.
Okay. No, Mr. LeBron is the best. Mr. No one's going to want Chris Paul.
Absolutely. LeBron is the best in the world. In a down year, he averaged 27, 8, and 8. Okay, that's in a down year. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Okay, whatever.
Best in the world, man. And he's wearing that Laker gold, baby.
All right, so...
You know what? I think I'm going to wear my LeBron jersey next episode, man.
You have a LeBron jersey?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I got a whole outfit.
The shorts, too?
Yes.
Nice. All right.
Yes.
So, on to the next topic, again regarding free agency. Kyrie Irving reportedly has ghosted Boston.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah, he's out.
he's most likely out, like he said.
Brooklyn.
Then what do you think is the best possible situation for D'Angelo Russell?
Come on to LA, baby.
What do you think is the most realistic situation?
Clippers.
Clippers? Really?
Yeah.
I think that the two teams that should go after him the most, or three actually, Phoenix. I think he makes Phoenix not a contender but a playoff team.
I thought Phoenix was going. No, you're right. Memphis got this 2K, right?
Because Devin Booker and D'Angelo Russell are good friends.
Yeah.
Then another team that I think could possibly suit him is Timberwolves. Again, not making them a contender, but making them a playoff team. Third team that I think could suit him well. Wait, I'm having a blank. No, Utah Jazz.
Lakers. He said Lakers.
I said Jazz.
He said Lakers.
So what do you think about those three options?
I mean, like I said, anything's better than where he would be at if they signed Kyrie, which is without a job. Out of those three, I would love him to go to Minnesota based on talent, but they just can't get out of their own way. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns takes the game seriously enough right now.
I think Jazz would be a great fit for him.
Jazz would be a good fit.
But one thing about them is the Jazz are a very defensive-minded team.
And D'Angelo does not play defense. No, he doesn't.
But who do you think needs a great point guard first? Devin Booker or Donovan Mitchell is really what gets.
I'd like to see him in Phoenix.
I think that
with
would be
Devin
fun.
Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Yeah. TJ Warren, learned how to shoot outside of 18 feet last year. Not bad.
No, that would.
They could scratch on that 8th seed.
Right, they definitely could. So, let's see. Any other questions you want to ask me? Anything you thinking of?
Who's better, Kawhi or KD? Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Well, you're gonna argue it. Kevin Durant is better.
Stop it. Come on, man. Stop
Then
it.
why'd you ask?
Stop it.
Why'd you ask? You knew I was gonna say Kevin Durant.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
How could you possibly think I'd say anybody else?
Who's gonna be better in 2 years, Kawhi or KD?
Well, it depends on how severe the injury is.
Oh, the injury severe.
If he's like Kevin Durant better.
Stop it. Come on, man.
Kevin
Durant's gonna come back and be Carmelo Anthony.
This is what I have to deal with.
He's gonna be Melo.
Oh, you're gonna think it's really funny when the Lakers sign Carmelo Anthony out of that. Out of
Whatever.
nowhere.
He can be a 6-man. Come on in and shoot the ball, Melo.
Alright.
Know your role, big dog. Shoot the ball, baby.
Alright. So with that, we'll take this episode to an end. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you want to get the shirt, you gotta like the video and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Put underneath your comments who's better, KD or Kawhi.
Right. And I hope you all enjoy and just keep watching and keep liking and subscribing.
Debate
See you
mates.
next time on the debate.
You gotta do it.
Debate mates.
There you go, my man.